more in like a safe lane 1v1 because too many times he wouldn't contribute enough in the mid game if he gets a little shut down. So rather than like a Beastmaster or something that can gank easily, or Doom that can kill supports and use Doom on people, Timbersaw is literally just about damage, and that doesn't fit into everything like those other heroes do.
All right, draft is ready, so we'll drop into the draft right now and enjoy Game 2 as we head into this draft, find out whether we see any surprises in here as well. One of those surprises we have already seen, of course, is Axe. Scar was a little bit of a surprise, not that much of a surprise, I guess. We thought it would probably come out, but it did. Got used very effectively once, and then not very effectively once. So
we've had.
We've also had Jakiro. Just throwing that in there.
No. The heroes most.
Come on, Paul.
Mostly bad.
He's trying while Blitz isn't here. While Blitz isn't here,
if I can't trigger Blitz, I can at least try and trigger Cap whenever I mention Jakiro.
That's a good alt trigger person. I agree.
Ice Frogs over there. You know what would make that hero viable? Let's add another 30 seconds to Macro Pyre.
I think if you could almost Rosh with that. You do like 5,000 damage to Rosh with it. You can do like half of Rosh's HP with it. It's pretty good.
Another trend is that you notice that there's so much fighting, right?
Yeah.
Not very long cooldown spells. Like, we don't have any of the big time ultimates. Like, we haven't seen much Tidehunter. Enigma was picked up, but it was primarily like a greed factor, right? It wasn't necessarily about the big team fight black holes. It wasn't about those longer duration ultimates.
I can get away with farming in the jungle kind of thing.
Yeah. So we haven't seen it's been constantly like, when you're able to fight, you keep fighting and keep fighting, right? And we said like the complexity match versus Liquid in that game 3. They had a lineup that was just like go like
both
every single time.
Yeah, they just fought all the time. Alliance did
Team
try
Liquid obviously don't think there was much wrong with their first draft because they foamed exactly the same way.
Yeah, it's totally standard to open Earth Spirit. It doesn't really predict anything, and it's good at team fighting, like I talked about last game. Good against armlet heroes since you have a lot of magic damage, and I felt like he was useful pretty much all game.
Yeah.
Duns and Chase.
Have we seen a single bounty this tournament?
I've seen it banned first round a lot.
It's been banned an awful lot, actually. I need to look up the stats, but it has been banned an awful lot first.
I think when you are going to leave Bounty Hunter out there, it's when your first pick, and you also leave Earth Spirit. Because I think that Earth Spirit is just naturally a higher impact 4 position that's more disruptive, and I think in many ways he is a suitable counter to the Bounty Hunter. Just because if you're both going to rotate into mid lane, Earth Spirit's naturally going to have is going to be more powerful, and it just comes down to that, I think.
So one of the major differences to the draft though is that Liquid did not ban Dazzle in the first round. So
I also gave them the Phoenix.
I love this one too.
Yeah.
Because I could almost guarantee 3-4 comes out, and if like Liquid haven't picked up the Phoenix in the first one too, they're gonna ban Phoenix in the 3-4, right? So I think it's very smart by OG to pick it up now if they want to run the same style.
And both of them can fit dual roles, right? You can have offlane or safe lane Void. You can have offlane or support Phoenix. Like, of course, we saw what they did last game with it, but they still have
the option to switch it up if they need to.
It makes it really tough for Liquid to just grab a strength hero here as well, because they already know that the Sunray is going to be an armlet counter. Difficult to deal with all the burst damage. I mean, they could pick like DK and then ban like Invoker, Elder Titan or something, but I'm sure that's leaving other weaknesses in their draft, and instead they're going to go for a lane that's going to allow them to pressure a carry. Well, now they can't really do Face's Void carry as well against Darkseer, and this gives them the opportunity to pressure heavily in the offlane.
Unlikely to be seeing a whole lot of rotations from those supports at that point in time into the mid lane, so maybe you can pick something that is able to either like win its matchup solo, or is able to take advantage of the fact that there's not going to be pressure on the mid lane.
Are they going to ban Razor Viper? Are they going to ban the 2 Fanta heroes?
You still can Dragon Knight. I like Dragon Knight versus Void, honestly. It's very good. It got him a lot of Void kills in the previous game.
Getting like 2 or 3 stuns off every fight.
That's super value.
You know what it is? Bada is like a very emotional player, and he's known in the past to be like kind of angry person, pretty ragey. I think like that anger in a way is sort of his power, and it's like his element, you know. He uses it in all ways, and I think that's what Razor and Viper promote, right? Is anger from the enemy mid.
Okay.
He's just sharing rage throughout Dota 2.
What's
So-
that?
Is this our
What's the
ultimate?
name? What's the name of the element? Is it IX Mike or something? Just make people mad.
What's it super effective against? Everything? Except for
Except for super calm
relaxed people.
players.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's why the Fada versus S4 matchup, right? The
Okay.
super calm, like, you know, always. But there were two really aggressive players as well. That was my favorite mid period of time when Fada and S4 would match up against each other with Quap and Puck.
So surprisingly, banning out. Alright, they do ban the Fada heroes. Slark getting banned out though. Probably because it's decent against Darkseer, I'm guessing, with the leash. Maybe there's something else. Maybe a squishier support that they're planning to pick.
So
The
those
Darkseer ban
bans
weird.
are all
Or
aimed at one player,
You mean
right?
the
the
Slark?
Slark. Yeah, I
Yeah.
find the Slark ban
Pretty
a little bit
much.
weird.
I mean, I think Slark was one of the big winners of this patch,
Oh.
and you can't run it on liquids because of the fact you're facing a Faceless Void and to some extent Phoenix. So
I guess. So, I mean, I know it was one of the strongest heroes as soon as the patch hit, but it's fallen off a little bit since then.
yeah,
Hasn't been drafted quite as much. And considering how OG played the previous game, I just feel like those are the heroes they're letting through again. The Dragonite Invoker, stuff like that. Now they've got the stun setups. They don't even need Chronosphere to get Phoenix kills now. So maybe they're trying to force their opponents to do this. Say, go ahead, you can do that. We'll grab AA or something, perhaps.
Has
Maybe that's
Miracle,
why they banned Slark.
has Miracle played DK? Because I know No-Tail has been kind of their DK player recently. Does this also signal a shift of Miracle to safe lane for this game as well?
I think they could just do Moon offlane and
Moon
Dragonite
offlane,
safe
Void.
lane, I guess. I wouldn't want to do DK versus Darkseer though, so I think that's a bit weak.
DK mid, Faceless
Yeah.
Void offlane, Phoenix support, and then they need
Carry
their
support.
crit and Miracle heroes.
Yeah.
Support carry, yeah.
I can't imagine Dragonite would be good versus Darkseer.
No.
In the lane. It'd be really rough. And then most of the time your ult would be away, so you couldn't push the lane because he would just Iron Shell creeps, so. Gotta be mid. DK surely. I don't know if A is really the pick just yet either. Maybe fourth pick, maybe fifth pick, but right now DK alone isn't going to be enough to make it justified.
I like Disruptor as their 5 position here, and not normally thinking of supports at this point, but I kind of like I like Disruptor versus Phoenix and Void. I think that it combos really well with Darkseer. And
It's pretty good for both teams, to be fair.
if you leave it out there, I think. I mean, I guess OG could pick it up, but I think it would be 5th ban. Oh, they went Vengeful Spirit instead. That's fine. I mean, we
Swap out
also
Chrono.
said, like, we thought Vengeful Spirit would have been the best support last time. We saw that was banned
Yeah.
away, so.
A little bit of minus armor, not that much though, to deal with Dragonite. He's still going to be very tanky, but
I mean, maybe they're going to go Slardar or something. Ion Shell.
I would kind of like that, I
Slardar.
guess. They're going to have some troubles killing Phoenix Egg, no matter what. But,
Yeah.
But their early game will be very high damage and good mobility if they do go Slar.
And it would be one of those lineups again that was just kind of like fight, fight, fight. And even if you lose a fight against like Chronosphere Egg, come back, fight, fight, fight. You do it again. I mean,
True.
you look at, despite what I said earlier about long cooldowns, all of OG have long cooldowns for their ults.
You mentioned the AA earlier, Cap, and I'm just wondering now, OG could go for like a Dazzle 4th pick and ban AA 5th if they wanted to. The fact, well, I guess Earth Spirit Venger picked up as their 2 supports, so AA wouldn't really fit in.
There's
no way.
There's no way Liquid would do that. How about Gyro this game? How's that look against OG?
Sure.
Looks pretty decent, right?
Yeah, I think it looks pretty damn good. If you're afraid, like you have something against the Earth Spirit Darkseer, you're not as threatened by the Ion Shell harassment. You have some fast team fight that makes sure that, just in case, if Liquid are going to try and get really aggressive on you with something like the Venge Slardar that we talked about earlier, then you have a hero that's able to combat that really well. It's always able to fight. And you want to take control because you're dire side naturally, so you can go ahead and focus on Roshan. But I think Gareth was right on the money about the Dazzle, very clearly. That's going to be...
There's the minus armor. And it also helped that
Sorry,
OG picked their second,
You
their
fifth
second
ban,
support.
fifth ban Huskar here, surely, as Liquid.
Yeah,
just
you're
because.
actually totally right.
Just because.
You're completely right, actually. They could still pick it. I mean, it looks like it's different than the previous strat, but the only thing that's different is that they have a Void offlane instead of like
Yeah.
a constantly ready to fight offlane. Dazzle Phoenix can still heal.
Yeah, don't give that to OG.
Huskar would be quite good against Alchemist.
Phoenix Huskar.
Fairly good.
Phoenix Huskar sounds really stupid.
Yeah, you've got the Sunray heal as well. Oh,
We can't
God.
kill him. Yeah, quick, he's getting lower and lower. Oh, wait, he got shell graved.
And if out goes Radiance, then there's doesn't do enough to Huskar. I guess you'd get some misses. That'd be kind of nice, but I just envision Elk getting blown up repeatedly.
Yeah, you'd have to go like you'd have to go back to like the
Medallion build.
medallion into Silver Edge build or something insane to beat Huskar.
It could almost work. It's okay actually against Dragonite too.
Phase
Yeah.
boots,
Yeah,
armor,
right.
SNY Silver Edge, something like that.
Yeah, and you would get Solar Crest after or something with Blink.
But it's hard to say no to the Radiance
Yeah.
Manta Octarine if you unless you're specifically countered like the Huskar. So
Yeah, they do
as we
ban the
see,
Husk.
it's banned out.
Good for them. 11 seconds left to draft, so they've got to pick pretty fast here. But this is going to be their mid.
I think any
unless they do Alchemid.
I was thinking
That's
out mid
okay.
because Dragonite, right? And then any
Ooh,
any
okay.
aggressive safe laner is good. I was thinking Slardar versus
Love this pick.
also good.
Tons of burst damage. Can kill the egg super fast.
Yeah.
With all the minus armor, he's actually able to deal with Dragonite okay. They don't have that many stuns, but if they stun the Face's Void and Ursa jumps in, they can burst him down fast. It's one of the few carries that can actually lane versus Void without any help from supports, just because you keep stacking over the overpower.
Yeah,
the
it's so
parasites.
annoying. Yeah, like you undo the damage that was just done, but 15 seconds.
Again with the Drow.
Okay.
And
Five-man
a
push.
drow. Okay, just a few seconds before we head over to the commentators. So we'll get your last thoughts on that drow pick, and who you feel like had a better draft, Gareth?
I really like Liquid's draft. Matuma on his, famous Ursa. This is a hero that he kind of made popular last year, and I think he's got it.
Okay,
I'm
Purge?
gonna have to go with OG. They've just been 5-man pushing so well all day today, and they snuck out it again. Draw with the last pick means they're gonna take Raxes. And
Okay. Bit of team play, bit of pick, cap.
It's
Full
really
house.
hard to say no to the 5-man of OG. I want to say yes to Liquid's lineup though.
Okay,
I'm down.
So,
Ursa.
Okay.
going with the
Let's
Ursa.
go. Liquid.
Okay, once again, we have a split decision on the panel. I love it. It's good for arguments, right? But let's find out what our commentators think of the draft as we head in to game number 2. Odie Pixel and Gods, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, Red Eye. And indeed, here we have it, going into game 2 of OG and Liquid. And what a few drafts we've got going on. OG, of course, was something that's not a little too dissimilar from what we saw them run earlier today. This whole kind of idea of having Miracle on the Drow, having that no-tail DK, and having that pushing power. And yes, it's against a lot of heroes that on Liquid could be seen as pretty good against a Drow. But we've got to remember, this is Miracle on his Drow Ranger, who out-carried a Spectre earlier today and went on to win the game. And Crip...
He's got
He's
dire.
fine, he's fine.
I love that they Iron Shell the Earth Spirit before he
Yeah.
TPs. Like, that was a lot of damage onto the Phoenix.
But yeah, so this game, I mean, is the Miracle Drow Ranger going to work as well as it did earlier today?
Yeah, as far as the OG draft, it's very identical to what they did against Alliance earlier. I think they had a Doom instead of a Void, but it's the Dro plus the DK. They take objectives really well. They've got the great sustain coming from their support duo, Phoenix Sunray, as well as the Dazzle, Heals, and Graves. So it's exactly what they had earlier. Alliance did something very different to Liquid, and they were much more about like taking their objectives, hitting their timings. Liquid, it's going to be fighting with Ursa, creating a ton of space, helping the Alchemist get room to farm, and playing for that kind of late game Alchemist. I got to kind of side with Purge, and I think for the most part, OG have just been executing this draft so well that I give them a bit of an edge here in game number 2.
Absolutely. And well, we're going to see the rune spots. It looks like Liquid might have a chance of securing themselves both of these. Bottom lane, yep, indeed they will. So my man grabs himself on for the Ursa and fire on to the Alchemist as well, so. It's just the small things, but nice little start there for Liquid. As it looks like OG just weren't too content on trying to contest there, level 1.
Yeah, they were hoping to secure themselves the top room without much of a fight, which wasn't possible. They didn't want to fight into an Iron Shell Earth Spirit as well.
No, not at all. Yeah, they're definitely very strong potentially at level 1 for the lineup of Liquid. And interesting lanes at the moment. So it looks like, to start at least, Liquid, they've got 3 heroes up here, including the Starks here.
And they want to zone right from the get-go. Jerks is in the side trees as well, though, and
there we go, rolling across. Let's see what we can try and kick off here. Iron Shell gets laid down onto the creeps, just pushing in the lane. But won't be able to find anything off the back of that. And I mean, are they going to keep these 2 supports up here, or do you think we'll just see Liquid be very, very active across the map with these?
I think they can deny a lot of XP and farm. They can contest the Dro's farm. They're going to get a side pull off here on the big camp, which is going to be very disruptive for the OG trial lane who wants to get XP up here. But good news for OG is they've dewarded their pull camp, so they can kind of do a little pull. Well, they tried to actually stack this, which didn't work with the Earth Spirit coming in, so maybe Liquid just kind of disrupting the lane equilibrium, getting the way back to their tower for mind control to farm with.
And I guess the reason why they can do this is because of the off-lane faces forward from the side of OG. Ursa, he's going to be relatively safe laning up against this, and just having that solo XP and solo farm is going to massively benefit Matumba Man, who we already know, this guy, if he gets a good start, he is going to be, borderline unstoppable on this hero.
Does mean you're giving Void like decent farm as well as free XP out of the lane, so while it's a slightly Ursa favored matchup, Moon should be able to get some farm out of this.
We can see up top, still keeping on the pressure, magic missile, rolling in with the slow as well. Fly, going to be able to ward this off, but only Jess, and now trying to turn around with the return aggression. Miracle standing his ground, getting the arrows through. You can see just this, look at mind control, just running straight in, heads first, with the Iron Shell surging forward.
They could have almost baited mind control in there for like a double heal bomb, but not wanting to hold their ground.
They might just find, Kuro here. He's going to get gusted up. One more touch will do, but gets himself out to the right. Nice control here from Jarrett's holding the back. Kuroki's going to live, and it might be the side of Liquid who find first, but they will. They'll take down Fly. And at the same time, look, chasing down for more, looking for crit. And also, I know they've also lost the Void down on the bottom lane. The Ferret Fires keeping mind control alive. They're going to do it. They get 3 on the top lane. Do lose a second in return there as Dazzle comes through and picks up mind control. We'll see if they can clean up Jarrex as well. Miracle looking to chase. They don't quite have the kind of the control to deal with this. So a lot of action going up top. And the fact that bottom lane, I mean, Matumba Man ended up killing up the Faceless Void.
Yeah, it looks like just having that Orb of Venom with the early Earthshock slow, getting him a kill. Now, that was before he even had the boots, I believe, getting that kill. So Moon to a poor start with just 4 CS and Ursa. 13 CS and a kill now over him. Very much not the start OG had in mind with these lanes, and just a great decision from Liquid to do this offensive tri lane, sending the 2 with the Darkseer of all heroes, and able to put a lot of pressure onto the OG side.
And we can see in the mid lane as well. It's
another roll up top.
Liquid. Let's see if they can finish this one off a little bit cleaner. Last time Liquid did lose a couple off the back of this. That's the walk in, the nice magic missile to stop the last advance of Fly coming through. Here's the turnaround. Can they make the side of Liquid pay for what they've done? No, nice surge onto Jarrett's, getting him out of there.
Crit's just level 1 is the problem. If he has Sunray or something there, it's a counter kill on Earth Spirit, but the pulls and with the pressure that Liquid's applying, like OG is not getting farm all levels on the heroes in the top lane. And it's not like either of their cores can rotate in. DK at level 6 doesn't even really want to roam around unless he gets like a haste rune up top. We're not going to see him move around. Moon as a Faceless Void doesn't rotate well, so very much you just have to live with what they've got at this top lane.
And we can see now, coming down towards the top room. I'm not going to be able to do anything about mind control picking that one up, but it really is that the thing, just this bottom lane, Matumba Man, this wave, he's nearly going to be level 6 against Moon, who's only just reached onto level 4. The difference between these 2 heroes in this 1v1 has been absolutely brilliant here for Matumba Man. He's played this lane perfectly.
Oh, absolutely, and that's the other thing. Like you talk about the course, unable to rotate. These 2 kind of defensive supports don't rotate either. Void hits level 6. You can't easily bring someone like a Dazzle or a Phoenix, perhaps Phoenix TPs. I think that's almost got to be the play here for OG, is get Void level 6, TP Phoenix down bottom, and go for the kill on Matumba Man. But even that's very big ass when he's got Enrage.
With a smoke, looking trying to get themselves in position behind the tree line, maybe looking to dive in onto Fly. Here we go with the roll forward onto Dazzle straight away. Nice silence onto 2, the kick as well. They'll find 1. Can they get Miracle as well here? Being surged up, the Iron Shell damage doing it as well. Ticking through the Drought Ranger. They'll look for Miracle. He was going to try and keep himself alive, and the healer isn't going to work. Double kill for mind control. tower hits. They're going to have to toggle these over. Try and keep themselves alive here. It's a nice disengage as well. Mind control TP's out. At that time, the side of Liquid finding themselves 2 kills and losing nothing in return.
Well, that's why you first pick Earth Spirit. Jerix's initiation's getting the stun into the silence combo while he's rolling. Dazzle doesn't get a single spell off as he goes down, so just great aggression coming out from that top lane, and it means not just the 1v1 at bottom, but Fata's had a pure 1v1 mid against the Dragon Knight where he's just free farming away. They're even on CS, but this is very favorable for an Alchemist who's maxing Greevil's Greed, going straight into the armlet, the Soul Ring up already. Just getting all the farm in the world that he needs. Didn't even commit to the bottle, which is kind of 600 gold save.
Coming in very deep, and the control's going to be there underneath the tower. No-Tail coming far too close for his own good, and Liquid punish it.
And Jerax getting the 2 hero silence off. Not just silencing the Dragon Knight, preventing any stuns, but silencing a Fly as well, who was sitting behind, looking to grave the Dragon Knight there to save him. Very impressive Earth Spirit
And this
plays.
is the thing as well. We saw Jerax having an amazing game pretty much in game 1, even though they didn't have a good start. Obviously, they didn't end up winning, but still the Earth Spirit performance was, it was always there. He was always in the right place at the right time. This time, we're going to see what he's able to do in a game where he has a great start. Halfway through level 4 at 6 minutes in, he's 0-1-6. This is an ideal start for an Earth Spirit.
See, DD Room picked up from a Tumberman, and the possibility of aggression over this may be his downfall, because 2 heroes have smoked his way, and the Chronosphere is ready for Moon.
They do need to punish this Ursa. He really has been having a great time on his own down here against the Void. And they're sending in another hero as well. Yeah. Everyone coming down here. Miracle as well.
They scan them. He scanned
that
behind.
Scan.
He knows exactly what is coming his way.
And they're investing so much in trying to find this kill.
Yep. It's a ward though. Is he going to poke his head up too far here? They've seen him make this rotation. The Tumberman. He's going to sneak by.
He is out. Wait, he's not going for Roche, is he?
He's putting a ward up.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah.
He snuck by, got a ward up.
I mean, the fact that, that whole rotation just wasted is absolutely huge. You can see the side of OG scanning the jungle, trying to find something, but they need to help No-Tail in the mid lane. Liquid coming in hard, and they'll take him down. The DK's gone.
Yep.
And this game, 8 for 2. Liquid having an absolutely impeccable opening across the map, and well, Tumberman, he's just going to start to fight Moon. The silence was, oh my goodness, Jerax! What a god! Setting that up there so Tumberman can take it out. There's no time, nothing. Beautiful silences from Jerax.
Smoting.
That the awareness that he's always there to make sure the team gets away with what they need.
That's a rotation from OG towards the bottom lane that accomplishes nothing. All 3 lanes being dominated by Liquid right now. 5.2k net worth on Alchemist. The highest on the Dire side is not even 2.6k. OG are getting pummeled here in game number 2, and we're just 8 minutes in. And it's about an 8k gold lead.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of this down to the Alchemist, but still, nonetheless, this is a great start for an Alchemist. We don't always see the Alchemist being as far ahead as he is at this stage of a game.
Yep. And he's got stacks to fall back to, so he's just going to rotate himself into the jungle, farm up some double stacks, and be on his merry way. There's nothing OG can even do to pressure him. This is how you punish a Drow Ranger strat. Just beat it in the laning stage. Drow, not really strong laning hero, has hit level 6 now, but even so, there's nothing OG can really do to team fight. Phoenix is just level 3. Everything has just gone wrong that could go wrong, and for OG, they've just got to kind of find some pickoffs here or there to give them some of that juicy comeback gold.
Yeah, ideally just, trying to utilize this Chrono from Moon to set something up, but
you can't, that's what they were trying to do bottom, and that's the thing. That's their way back in the game.
4 heroes down there, and they end up losing the Void and wasting a lot of time for the team.
Yeah.
Blight. Could be in a bit of trouble there. All it requires is Jerax to hit his spells, and well, was there really any question if he was going to miss them? Absolutely, once again, it's Spirit. The angles are brilliant. Placement is perfect.
And now Mask of Madness on the Tumberman, so easy access to Roche, but more importantly, easy access to just amplifying up the aggression coming out from the side of Team Liquid. They're going to just take this mid-tier 1 tower, it looks like, for no contest.
Bottom lane OG. Also taking a push onto the bottom, trying to find something in trade. But yeah, the power of Liquid certainly being shown here in this opening. Really remarkable
coming
stuff.
down with an acid, and that could be enough to hold on to this tier 1 tower. They'll see the Alchemist behind the tower though, so he's going to be a little bit careful.
I mean, they can certainly defend this, if they, as we can see. Just that push isn't strong enough from OG at this stage of the game to just take a tier 1 like that. Even with the amount of space they were given. They lose a tier 1 mid, they aren't able to find a trade. And as you said, the Alk just coming in to farm up the lane. Vata keeping himself at the top of the board, 7.5k net worth. He's double that of the DK at only just 10 minutes. That's the thing as well, that he's managed to create this lead so early on in the game. Oh, Jerax again. When has this man not been making the plays this game? Every second, every minute, been setting it up for the team. I mean, this certainly is going to be one of those games that Jerax is going to be putting on his highlight reel. 119, involved in 10 of the 11 kills.
The only one he wasn't was that solo kill bottom by the Ursa. So.
Which I mean, I don't think even the Tumberman expected that to happen, you know what I mean? But everything that should have happened has, thanks to this Earth Spirit. Jerax, I mean, it kind of begs to see if this continues like this and OG aren't able to pull it back if we see them take it away in the last game, the deciding match. Because at the moment, Liquid are certainly pushing it that way here. Really, really strong stuff. I mean, if you're OG now at this point, we know Miracle, he is kind of the king of the comeback. But on a Drow Ranger, it's not really a Miracle hero to do it on, especially when you're this far behind.
That's on a comeback hero on any player, and that's the big issue here. Their way back into this game is going to be from finding those kills, using the Chronosphere plus Sunray. We're seeing Boyd go for a very defensive build, maxing out the Time Walk, no points in bashes. Look at this net worth lead.
I mean, there is an Alchemist, but still, it just looks so scary. 12k lead.
Anytime you're getting like a 1,000 net worth a minute advantage.
Oh, say goodnight, Moon.
Yep.
Farewell, sweet prince.
2 points in the stun, enough to get that kill, and that's Radiance money.
Radiance of 12-minute armlet Radiance. Forget the Sovereign, but I mean, how do they stop this Alchemist?
I don't think they can. I think they have to prioritize getting kills on other heroes and just accept the fact that this Alchemist is going to power farm and be a huge nuisance later on. Because you have got percent-based damage coming out of the Sunray, you've got the Chronosphere, so for OG, it's find pickoffs wherever we can on like viable targets. Like this Darkseer spending a lot of time up top. Going for a smoke kill on Darkseer, while not the biggest kill to get, is better than nothing. And then ultimately we're going to get in this scenario where OG's fights back in this game are going to come from the high ground defense. Yeah, they've still got tier 1 and tier 2 towers up, but they're going to be so far behind on farm. There's going to be an Aegis on the Ursa most likely because it's an Ursa, he takes Roche with ease. OG is going to be all about the high ground defense this game at some point. And even No-Tail, he's picked up a Gloves of Haste. I guess he's not going Midas, he's going to go into the Armlet build. He's just incredibly poor. Everyone on this dire side just has no farm whatsoever to work with.
Yeah, I think just really looking at Jerax, I mean, his activity has caused him to be at a stage of the game where he's only a few hundred gold behind Miracle and No-Tail.
No-Tail finds Mind Control, but there's zero follow-up for this, and TP already coming from Fata's Alchemist.
Let's see what Liquid can set up here. They're ready to go. Crit. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. There's a Chronosphere buying some time here for the Phoenix. He'll get the Supernova out. Maybe OG can turn this. Kuroki swapping Matumbaman away. Kuroki will pay with his life. Does manage to save the Ursa there though.
Yeah, very wise play from Kuro there just to...
Oh, here we go. Miracle. He is not having a great time here. He really is not.
Nope.
Liquid just beating down hard onto the side. Matumbaman revving up for the sidelines. They'll lose the tower. Try and fight though. Matumbaman coming in fact, while Moon jumping forward. Pop the ult to try and reduce some of this damage here. Can he get himself out? He's got the help of Jerax and Mind Control, but this maybe could be being Liquid biting off more than they can chew. They're going to lose one. They may lose Jerax as well. He'll roll himself out, but he should tick down to 8 HP. Will finally pop. So Liquid maybe just getting a little bit overzealous there, feeling a little bit confident, and OG are quick to shut them down there with that play.
I mean, those pickoffs is like the slow climb back into this game for OG. They need a lot more where that came from. Still an Alchemist who is just farming out of control for them to deal with later on, but kills will start to add up if OG can find a few more. Going to be going for the Midas again on the Phoenix. Wouldn't be surprised to see. Like at this point, you're way back in this game as the super late game. So if anything, like getting multiple Midases may even be the name of the game for him. But
oh, crit! I hope you enjoyed that summary because it's going to be your last. I mean, just the money that Fata's getting as Alchemist. This is the thing as well. He's been farming absolutely ridiculously, and he's also been finding the kills. He's what 302 on an Alchemist at 14 minutes in. This is. This has got to be one of the best Alchemist at least starts I've seen in a long time in competitive. He's just had such a clean start, and OG have been able to do nothing about it.
Now Matamba Man will look to secure his team. Roche will get him Blink Dagger money as well, and the Blink is going to be even more sadness coming Miracle's way, most likely, following that.
Oh,
They're pinging it.
they're going to try and fight.
They see him with the weave.
Oh, silence for Jarex. Out onto the sidelines, Matamba Man. They're able to find a jump and they're going to need to do it soon. A couple more swipes and that will be gone. Trying to fight up on the sidelines. Moon comes in. Oh, can he steal it? Moon, no! It's going to go down to the Radiant. He just is on the floor, but no, still Ursa's able to grab it. They're not able to get themselves in and take it away on the sidelines. They did manage to find the Alchemist kill. They will take down Kuroki as well, but now Matamba Man turning up with Jarex. They're going to look to try and clean these boys up. At the moment, OG looking fairly strong here. See if they can chase this down though. Fly and Miracle running back towards their base. They want to make it. Time to make it. We can't chase. They do find a very high value kill onto the Alchemist, picking up Cookie as well as, but they do still not get the chance to take away that Aegis from Liquid, and Roshan still goes down to the back.
I had 3,000 gold swing just off of an Alk and Avenge kill.
I mean, this, as you said, as long as they can continue to find this, they can certainly swing their way back in. But they need to do a lot of swinging. We're still at a 10k lead at 16 minutes.
And Miracle's stacked up a lot of Ancients here, so he's farming all right. We'll hit level 11 fairly soon. Has Crit kind of there just to back him up.
I mean, what is the game plan now for OG? Are you just kind of waiting for Liquid to come to you? I mean, can they afford to do anything themselves in terms of aggressive? Do they just fight around kind of Moon's Chronospheres?
Fight around pickoffs, look for heroes who are off farming by themselves. Like a hero like Alchemist is... Liquid aren't going to necessarily 5-man. Like an Alch doesn't want to be grouping up with his team. He wants to be on one side of the map farming while his team is kind of pushing towers elsewhere, and they can TP in should a fight break out. So for OG, it's kind of evaluating the map. Like they want to get up as much vision as possible so they can figure out which heroes are by themselves and go for those pickoffs. For Liquid, it's like, don't let OG get chain kills together. Kuro needs to be sitting behind like the high value targets and swapping them to save them, like we saw at bottom with the Ursa. And in theory, you just need to be making sure you play as polished as possible moving forward. So OG may look to smoke again soon. They're close to a Shadow Blade, it looks like, on Dragon Knight. He's got the amulet at least. That's going to give them an initiation tool to help find those pickoffs.
This seems to be as well a very, very common build here for the DK now, doesn't it? It's this armlet into Shadow Blade.
Yeah.
As it seems to be as well, we're seeing more DKs do that rather than the armlet into Blink nowadays as well. I mean, I guess it depends
Bata did the Blink last game. But,
yes, he did. Yeah, that's.
I think for No-Tell, we've seen mostly the Shadow Blade.
Well, no, he got
pickup.
the Silver Edge last game.
Yeah, he got it after the Blink.
Oh,
though.
yeah, he got both, didn't he? He did get both in the end. That's right. Moon has got the Chronosphere back up. See if he does find the option to set up anything around here.
And Kuro's just solo farming and pushing. It's the Pilot I play where you're just like, you're a support, so it's not really worth investing ultis to kill Kuro. And you also don't know if he's got heroes behind him. He could be bait, he might not be. It's not worth risking to kill a low priority kill on something that could backfire. If that's an Alch, you maybe go for it because you kill him, it's worth it. It's worth the risk. But
now this is something a little bit different. Vanguard on Jarex Earthspirit.
Okay, this is to gear up towards the high ground push. Having a Crimson Guard is going to be a really useful item against the physical damage coming out from Dro, DK, and Void. And it's not like there's good items you can get to fight against like the Chronosphere Sunray. Sunray being pure damage and all.
And that's true. I guess this is one of those things as well. As we saw in game one, Jarex can do a lot without items. That basically he just needs to keep himself alive, and that Vanguard could just be that sustainability that he needs to, you know, if he gets clipped on the side of a Chronosphere, just having that extra bit of damage block to deal with, as you said, the right clicks of OG. Liquid though, in with the push, unable to get the final touch into the tower, but nonetheless the tower taken, falling into the pockets of the boys on the Radiant.
OG are just in the bottom side of the map, utilizing the safer farm in the Radiant jungle, hoping that a hero comes down here to perhaps farm that they can pick off, but nothing really presenting itself right now. And a smoke from Liquid, looking to reclaim their own jungle. I think recognizing the situation that OG are getting a bit too much farm out of it.
Here we go, eyes onto Moon, swapped into the silence immediately. I've got the follow-up done to control him, and yeah, they could take him down. Actually dropping the wall, a little bit scared he might get the chance to try and walk out. But a plus for the side of OG is wall down. Still, Liquid, they're going to look to try and fight again, try and take down another pick if they can get it off. As they want to try and remove the tier 2 in the mid lane. Maybe also look for the tier 1 that's still standing on the bottom. The lane is being pushed out at the moment by the side of OG. And we can see with the graph, you know, the fact that Alchemist has continued to get his flow back on. They have managed to regain that little bit of a dip that OG caused them to have.
Yeah, when things slow down. Oh, crit, bottom lane, gets caught out trying to TP home.
Oh, but I mean, we saw that at the start, just the Radiance burn from the Mantle Illusion kind of taking him down.
And now no Phoenix Sun Ray for the high ground defense. This makes life very difficult.
And with the swap onto Fly, if they can start to get picks, he does get the Grave off in time. Fly starting to retreat, but now Liquid, they're just ready to move in, and Matuma Man going to work. They'll take them both down. Now it's just Miracle and Moon left alive. Chrono comes out, but he's only going to catch onto one. They do get the gust onto Fada. Fada trying to get himself away from this, but he's not going to survive. That's a big kill here, but in return, Liquid jumping back in. Jax with the boulder smash onto Miracle. The silence won't catch him. The claws of the bear will do, though, and they'll find themselves a double kill for Matuma Man. Sorry, for Mind Control, in fact, with the Iron Shells. I mean, this is OG crumbling.
Yep.
You're looking at the base being pressured at 20 minutes in. They're going to be able to find the melee racks from the look of it.
Doesn't feel like 20 minutes when you click the Alchemist's items, but they'll get the job done. Take a lane of racks here, and OG really in dire straits. The gold deficit gets even bigger. Fat had to buy back. Couldn't actually get the armlet toggle off with the two right clickers in the Dro and the Void hitting him. But ultimately,
and I think
not something that's going to matter.
I think at this point as well, you look back at the draft, and as we were saying, you do wonder maybe that 5th ban on the Huskar from Liquid really has done it here. Was that what OG were after? Maybe with the Huskar does, they could have tried to clean up in return, but as we're seeing here, you know, Miracle, he's being graved, but it may not just save him. The beautiful stun, the combination from Jared's coming in, forcing OG back, but Matuma Man jumps forward. Won't be able to get a lockdown, has to back up now himself. But still, they're all standing around. The wall's being dropped amidst the 3 of them. No-Tail trying to finish off the bear. He's not going to quite make it. The bear turns around, takes No-Tail down. They will lose Matuma Man. They'll go for a supernova here, but Liquid, they'll move in. They'll start to punch. They should be able to take down the egg, and they do. They'll take down the supernova. Mind Control taken down in return. Double kill for Miracle. He is holding. Over Terra onto Moon. They're swapping down to the low ground. Magic Missile, very nicely done onto Miracle. There's still the chance for Moon to time warp back up. The illusions coming in, burning down Miracle here with the Radiance. Miracle being forced back, will still survive. But the buyback from the crit on his Phoenix, they will actually hold the high ground against Liquid, but they're really having to give it everything to just slow down the aggression of Liquid, who are not scared to dive behind those tier 3s. But it's a big defense, and even with that buyback, as we can see, it does pay off for OG.
They're still just so far behind. The deficit is just getting massive right now, and this is... Alchemist is going to just power farm, continue to accelerate his item progression, has a couple of item slots to work with. Crimson Guard now picked up.
Yes. Now that's balance.
Well, Roshan sometime in the next 3 minutes as well, so very likely we see Liquid just go for that next high ground push around Roshan. If anything, I think OG have to try and contest it because of how far behind they are and how almost certain this game would be lost.
Bottom lane as well. They're ready to go. Fada, he has been caught out, but look at the move! Oh! Matuma Man! Absolutely destroying Moon. They're moving on to No-Tail as well. He's a little bit tankier, and he will manage to stay alive for the time being. Fly's actually coming in to back him up with the heals, but he's already had to use the Grave onto Miracle to keep this Drow alive, so DK's going to go down. Mind Control jumping in, looking to chase down for more. The stun, holding Fly on the sidelines. Crit, he's going to fall. It's a double kill for Fada. They should be able to find Fly as well, and they do. Triple kill for the Alchemist, 4 dead. Miracle does get himself out of there. And this is all whilst the tier 1's still standing. GG is called. We saw Liquid tap out in respect to OG's play in the last game, but this time, I mean, OG, they've got to respect how well Liquid played this. What a performance. 26-11, 24 minutes in. OG, they just never had the chance to get the lineup off the ground. Liquid were just right in their faces every single time. And I really think it goes back to just the start that Jarex was able to give the team. Yeah, that performance on Earth Spirit.
Absolutely. Hands down MVP, no question about it. Liquid won. They won all 3 lanes, and they won all 3 lanes convincingly. It wasn't like often you see a team's lane it such that they can like have like a narrow edge in each lane, but no, you have an Ursa